Why did I write a book to help hurting kids? And why do I believe everybody has a story? Well, I want to say this video is a really special one because I want to share the story behind my children's book, Butu the Bully, which is now published, and how it was born from a place of healing, faith, and compassion for children who are often misunderstood. So let's just ease right into it. So, what if the school bully is not a bad kid, but just a hurting kid? You know, what if those people who are bullies are also going through a hard time, especially children now, not adults? Can relate to adults too, but for now, let's just talk about the kids, yeah? What if they are just children who are going through a hard time at home and because they don't have the right support system, they are acting out and bullying their classmates? What if that is one of the perspective? Hi, my name is Amola Ladodu, and you're welcome to the For Healing Girls YouTube channel. And I want to introduce you to my first children's storybook. This is my baby, my first ever published book titled Butu the Bully. So, why did I write this book? I wrote this book because I realized that a lot of times we only talk about the people who have been bullied, and yes, that's good, but we give more light, we shine more light on the child who is being bullied, and that's really really good, and continue to do that is what I'm saying. But then again, I think we also are neglecting the child who is the bully, and somehow that is affecting the way we are approaching the issue of bullying in Nigeria, especially. I live in Canada right now, but I've lived in Nigeria all my life and I've worked with NGOs, I've worked with children, I've worked with families. I've been a Sunday school teacher for a long while. I think I started to be a Sunday school teacher when I was 17 years old or even maybe 14. I can't remember, but I'm saying that I have walked around families and children and I was a child myself. So I have perspective on the fact that we need to also shine some kind of light on the bully. So when I was writing this book, I slowly realized that I was not just writing for children. I started to realize that okay, this is a bit, you know, it's not just for children, but this is a book that is also for the inner child in many of us. Many of us were bullied as children. I was bullied as a child. Thankfully, I was not the bully. I'm sure that's what you will say. But I was bullied. And then I have realized that we've had a lot of people break the silence and talk about how they were bullied. And I'm so sorry if you're watching this and you were bullied as a child and somehow this content is making you to sit down and reflect on that memory. But then again, I want us to talk about the fact that the child that is doing the bullying might also be going through a hard time. Have we thought about that before? Okay, so this character, Butu the Bully, is a young boy who bullies others at school, of course, as the title reflects. But behind his anger is something so many of us can recognize. He's going through a broken home. His parents are constantly fighting. There's a lack of emotional support at home. And then there's this pain that he does not know how to express. Of course, if your parents are going through a hard time at home and you're just a 7-year-old boy, how would you're still a child. So how are you going to be able to process that emotion if you don't speak to someone? And as someone who's walked the path of healing and I've worked with children and families, I've seen firsthand how the pain that children feel from what their parents are going through in their marriages, how that pain can turn into this sort of behavior, and how silence can shape that child's future. If that child does not speak to someone, you might realize that that child could start acting out by bullying other children. So I wrote this book because I wanted children to feel seen. I wanted children who especially act out to feel seen. And I wanted parents, teachers, and caregivers to start asking the right question. Let's stop asking, oh, what's wrong with this child? Why is he or she so stubborn? Let's start asking, what happened to this child, or what is happening to this child? So Butu the Bully reminds us that children can also carry really heavy things that they don't have words for. And don't forget that we live in a broken society, in a broken world, yeah? Children are not meant to carry the heavy emotional burden of their parents, but it's happening. So that's what happens when we have a home where the father and the mother are constantly fighting, or they're just deep seated issues, even poverty. They're just quite a number of risk factor, from the parents having a bad marriage to poverty to not living in a good environment. All these things can be detrimental to a child's emotional life, and then the child goes ahead to become a bully. So, Butu the Bully opens the door to talk about all these things, and not just in homes or classrooms, but even on healing spaces like this. I want us to come here and really talk about what society sometimes wants to shy away from. So, I want you to know that this book is for, of course, parents first and foremost, but also for educators, also for you and I who are just normal people as well. You can buy this book and share with a school close to you, your church, your mosques, the community around you. It's just going to really throw the light on bullying, and it's going to really, really help to be a gentle tool. Yeah. So you can read the book with your children, and you can kickstart conversations about emotions, about empathy, about safe spaces, and what to do when someone is hurting. I am a mom, and I like to talk to my son about how to help other children who seem like they are hurting, how to be kind to them. My child is a child, so I'm not expecting him to hold space for people 100%, but I do expect him to be kind to other children. So my hope is that this book will create a space for questions on healing, on forgiveness, and also on support, and maybe even on marriage. I don't like to talk about marriage because I also realize that I'm still on my own journey. But I also recognize that the choice of a life partner is a really, really important choice that society is not really drumming into the ears of younger women right now. So people want to get married because of what's the flashy things we see online. Maybe you want to get the social media content creator that would take very nice shots for your wedding day, the wedding gown, the cake. Those things are important, but I want you to really understand that the most important decision on your wedding day is that man or woman who you're getting married to. And if you make the wrong decision, your child might just end up becoming Butu the Bully. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every child that bullies is a child going through a hard time at home. There are children who bully because their parents are bullies, and they have seen firsthand that their parents bully other people and get away with it. There are children who bully because they are just bullies. There are children who bully because they are just that way. There's no reason to it. They just think they can get away with many things. I'm still speaking for that child, and I'm saying that if we have a society where children are being listened to and being heard, I think it's going to go a long way to help. I've seen lots of school who outrightly just expel children who bully other children. And there's nothing really wrong with that. But apart from just expelling them, can we also try to see how to get help for children who they themselves are bullies? Yeah? So, if this message speaks to you, I want to invite you to get this book. And I want you to know that this book is really going to change the way you view childhood pain. And then if you've ever been Butu, or you've ever been someone who was bullied, I want you to know that you are not alone, and that you are worthy of healing. I want you to know that you can sit with what had happened and see how to process it and see what lessons you can pick from them. And then sometimes there are no lessons, yeah? Yeah? Sometimes there are no lessons. I digress, but sometimes I think about some of the pain I've gone through in life, and I'm like, was there any use to that pain? Yeah, most people would tell you that definitely there's always some sort of advantage to something you've gone through. I think we'll talk about that in some other videos and all. So yeah, so if you want to get to the Bully and you live in Nigeria, then just go to the Roving Heights bookstore. in Abuja and get yourself a physical copy of Butu the Bully, or you can order it on their website. I will leave all the link down below at the description box of this video. And if you don't live in Nigeria, you live in Canada, you live in New Zealand, you live in the UK or anywhere around the world, then definitely you have access to Amazon and you can access this book on the Amazon website. I'll also leave the link down below. So let me know what your thoughts are on this book. I want you to leave your ratings and your comments on Amazon, but definitely on this video as well. Let me know in the comments, what would you say to a child like Butu today? If you come across a child who is a bully, or to the child you used to be who was being bullied or who had been bullied, what would you say? What would you say? What would you say? So don't forget that for me, the most important question is not asking what is wrong with this child, but asking what happens to this child. What is happening to this child? I want you to understand that negative behaviors sometimes, or negative behavior in children sometimes, can be indications of the kind of life they are living behind the scenes. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video and sticking to the end of this video. Don't forget to buy my book. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this video. And then there are some of you who just watch my videos and you don't subscribe. I don't know why, but please just do subscribe to this video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. And I know it is possible with your help. So please subscribe and like and comment, because the more you do that, the more YouTube shows this video to other healing women who need to hear the good news on this channel. So till my next video, keep thriving, keep blooming, and just keep being awesome. Bye.